First contact crisis. The orbital defense platform, Vigilant Shield, hung silently against the backdrop of Earth's blue curve, one of 12 such installations that formed humanity's first line of defense. Inside the command module, Lieutenant Sophia Rice completed her maintenance checklist while sipping the last of her coffee. 3 years stationed on this glorified space junkyard, and the only excitement had been a near collision with a derelict satellite last spring. That was about to change. Lieutenant called the station's AI through her earpiece. Multiple objects detected approaching from beyond lunar orbit. Configuration unknown. Sophia set down her mug, suddenly alert. Show me. The holographic display illuminated, revealing a cluster of vessels unlike anything in Earth's databases. They moved with precision, maintaining perfect formation as they decelerated toward Earth. Alert Space Command, she ordered, heart pounding. First contact protocols, effective immediately. Across Earth, defense systems activated. In the Singapore Space Command headquarters, Commander Sarai Chen was awakened by the priority alert. Within 30 minutes, she stood in the command center, watching the approaching vessels with the world's top military and scientific leaders. 7 vessels, unknown configuration, reported Admiral Williams. They're maintaining position just beyond our defensive perimeter. No aggressive movements. They're waiting, said Commander Chen, studying the tactical display. At 42, Chen had risen through international space defense, ranks through sheer brilliance and determination. They want us to make the first move. The UN Secretary-General nodded. Open communications. When the transmission connected, humanity received its first glimpse of extraterrestrial life. The being on screen had iridescent scales covering a humanoid face, 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern, and spoke through a translation device. People of Earth, I am Ambassador Keylorn of the Galactic Concordat, representing the unified species of the Orion Spur. We come in peace, seeking diplomatic relations with your world. Commander Chen stepped forward. Ambassador, I am Commander Chen of Earth Space Command. We welcome peaceful contact. The alien's upper eyes blinked. Excellent. The Concordat has observed your development for some time. Your species has reached the threshold for first contact. We offer membership in our alliance, with all associated benefits and protections. Initial communications seemed promising, but over the next 48 hours, Commander Chen and her team began noticing inconsistencies. The Concordat representatives insisted on immediate treaty signing, refused to allow Earth delegates aboard their vessels, and evaded questions about their technology. During the third negotiation session, Dr. Amara Singh, Earth's leading xenolinguist, noticed something alarming. While reviewing translation logs, she discovered subtle discrepancies between what Ambassador Keylorn said and what their translation devices rendered. Commander, she whispered urgently during a recess, they're manipulating the translations. When they mention resource sharing, their actual language implies unilateral extraction rights. Commander Chen's eyes narrowed. Keep monitoring. Tell no one yet. The negotiations continued in a massive conference hall in Geneva. Ambassador Keylorn presented the formal treaty with flourish, his scales shimmering under the lights. This agreement grants Earth protected status within the Concordat. Your people will benefit from our advanced medical technologies, interstellar travel capabilities, and cultural exchange programs. Commander Chen reviewed the document, her face carefully neutral. Dr. Singh's team had been working around the clock to develop their own translation algorithm, and the results were troubling. The treaty contained hidden clauses granting the Concordat exclusive mining rights to Earth's oceans and atmosphere, with vague terminology that could be interpreted as population control measures. We appreciate your offer, Chen responded carefully, but Earth will need time to review this proposal. Our governance structure requires consensus from multiple nations. Ambassador Keylorn's lower eyes twitched, a sign of irritation, according to Dr. Singh's notes. The Concordat's protection is not offered lightly. Delays could be problematic. Nevertheless, Chen replied firmly, We will proceed according to our protocols. Later that evening, in a secure underground facility, Earth's Leadership Council convened an emergency meeting. "They're lying to us," Commander Chen stated bluntly, displaying the true translation of the treaty. "This isn't an alliance. It's colonization with a friendly face." The room erupted in heated discussion until the Secretary General raised her hand for silence. "What do we know about their capabilities?" she asked. Admiral Williams stepped forward. "Their technology is advanced, but not insurmountably so. Our analysis suggests their vessels use a form of gravitational manipulation for propulsion. Weapon systems appear energy-based, likely plasma or directed particle beams. And they're hiding something," added Dr. Marcus Okafor, head of Earth's Cynobiology team. "During medical exchanges, they've been deliberately vague about their biological requirements. I believe they need something specific from Earth, something in our atmosphere or oceans." The Chinese premier spoke up. "What happens if we reject their treaty?" Silence fell across the room. It was the Russian president who finally answered. "History tells us what happens when technologically superior powers offer protection to those they consider less advanced. We either accept subjugation now, or we fight for our independence." Commander Chen studied the faces around her. "There is another option. We negotiate, but from a position of strength." "What strength?" asked the Indian Prime Minister. "They can travel between stars. We've barely reached our own moon." Chen smiled thinly. "They don't know about Project Prometheus." Murmurs rippled through the room. Project Prometheus was humanity's most closely guarded secret, a theoretical weapons platform that harnessed dark energy. It remained untested, but simulations suggested it could generate defensive capabilities beyond anything currently deployed. "It's not ready," Admiral Williams warned. "They don't know that," Chen countered. "And more importantly, they don't know we've been decoding their secure transmissions." She activated a holographic display showing intercepted communications between Ambassador Keylorn and his superiors. The messages revealed internal disagreements within the Concordat about Earth's potential. Some factions viewed humans as dangerous, advocating for immediate containment, while others saw valuable genetic diversity and resources to exploit. "They're not united," Chen explained. "And they're afraid of our potential." The Secretary General stood. "Commander Chen, you will lead our response. Make it clear that Earth rejects these terms while leaving the door open for genuine partnership. Let's see how they react." The next morning, Earth's response stunned the Concordat delegation. "While Earth appreciates the Concordat's offer," Commander Chen announced formally, "we must decline the current treaty terms. We propose instead a limited cultural and scientific exchange, with all parties maintaining their sovereignty." Ambassador Keylorn's scales darkened, all four eyes widening. "This is unprecedented. No emerging world has ever rejected Concordat protection. Earth is not like other worlds." Chen replied simply, "We look forward to establishing mutually beneficial relations, but we will not surrender our independence." As the ambassador and his delegation withdrew to consult with their leadership, Commander Chen returned to Space Command headquarters. The first sensors were already detecting energy buildups among the Concordat vessels. "They're angry," she observed, watching the readings. "Now we'll see if they're reasonable." Hours later, Ambassador Keylorn requested an urgent meeting. His demeanor had changed, the friendly diplomat replaced by a stern representative. "The Concordat is concerned by Earth's response," he stated without preamble. "Your resistance suggests dangerous isolationist tendencies. For the safety of this sector, we must insist on a security presence in your system." Commander Chen's expression remained impassive. "Ambassador, let me be clear. Any unauthorized entry into Earth's sovereign space will be considered a hostile act and met with appropriate force. You cannot hope to resist the Concordat," Keylorn warned, his translator unable to mask the threat in his tone. Chen leaned forward. "Perhaps, but know this. We've analyzed your vessels. We understand more than you realize about your capabilities and your internal divisions. The cost of forcing Earth's compliance would be extraordinarily high. For the first time, uncertainty flickered across the ambassador's alien features. This was not the response of a primitive species cowering before superior technology. "The Concordat will consider its options," he said finally. "We will communicate our decision within your solar day." As the transmission ended, Admiral Williams approached. "Was that wise, Commander? Revealing we've studied their technology. They needed to know we aren't as primitive as they assumed," Chen replied. "Now, activate Prometheus. It's time to show them what humanity can do." Across the globe, hidden facilities powered up as Earth prepared for either war or a new era of interstellar diplomacy. The choice now lay with the Galactic Concordat. Accept humans as equals, or face the consequences of underestimating the youngest intelligent species in their sector of the galaxy. As night fell over Singapore, Commander Chen watched the alien ships through a powerful telescope. Tomorrow would either mark humanity's entry into galactic society on their own terms, or the beginning of their first interstellar conflict. Humanity's Defiance. Aboard the Concordat flagship Sovereign Mandate, Ambassador Kilorn faced the holographic projections of the Grand Council with trepidation. 7 beings, each representing a founding species of the Galactic Concordat, regarded him with expressions ranging from curiosity to undisguised hostility. "Explain again," demanded Archonvex, the Triskelion representative whose 3-lobed brain gave him unparalleled analytical abilities, "how a pre-FTL species has managed to reject our standard incorporation protocols." Kilorn's scales rippled with anxiety. "The humans are anomalous, Archon. They've unified their planet not through centralized authority, but through maintaining their distinct governance structures. They detected the subsurface provisions in our treaty and developed their own translation matrices." "Impossible," hissed Director Mira of the Selenian Collective, her crystalline form refracting light as she moved. "Their technology is primitive. Evidence suggests otherwise." Kilorn replied carefully. "They'd been monitoring our secure channels, and they referenced knowledge of our propulsion and weapons systems that was not disclosed during negotiations." The council chamber fell silent. Finally, the eldest member spoke, Supreme Mediator Orban of the Caldari, whose species had founded the Concordat millennia ago. "In 3,000 cycles, no emerging species has detected the resource acquisition clauses before ratification," Orban observed, his ancient voice carrying despite its softness. "Perhaps we have become predictable." Archonvex's appendages twitched with irritation. "What of their defensive capabilities? The incorporation protocols allow for forceful integration when necessary." "Unknown," Kilorn admitted. "They mentioned a project called Prometheus that our intelligence failed to detect during observation, and they seemed unusually confident when issuing threats." Director Mira's crystalline form pulsed with blue light, a sign of curiosity among her kind. "A bluff, surely." "Perhaps," Kilorn conceded, "but there is another factor. Our atmospheric analysis confirms Earth contains the highest concentration of quantum K particles in the sector, essential for our longevity treatments." The council members exchanged meaningful glances. Quantum K was the Concordat's most precious resource, the foundation of their medical technology that extended lifespans tenfold. Finding a planet rich with the element was unprecedented. "We cannot allow such a resource to remain outside Concordat control," Archonvex declared. Supreme Mediator Orban raised a gnarled hand. "Nor can we risk its destruction. If the humans are more advanced than we anticipated, a direct conflict might jeopardize the quantum K deposits." After hours of deliberation, the council reached consensus. Ambassador Kilorn received his new instructions with private misgivings. The humans, he suspected, would not respond well to ultimatums. Back on Earth, Commander Chen hadn't slept in 36 hours. Project Prometheus had been successfully deployed, a network of satellites containing experimental dark energy manipulators. In theory, they could generate a disruption field that would disable the Concordat's gravitational propulsion systems. In practice, no one knew. "Status report," she demanded, entering the command center where teams of scientists and military personnel worked frantically. Dr. Elias Kim, the Korean physicist who had pioneered the dark energy theory behind Prometheus, looked up from his console. "The network is operational, Commander, but untested against alien technology. We're running at 60% efficiency." "It will have to be enough," Chen replied, studying the tactical display. The Concordat vessels had shifted formation, moving into a hemispheric arrangement above Earth's northern continents. "They're positioning for something," observed Admiral Williams, joining her. "Offensive or defensive?" Before Chen could answer, Communications Officer Lieutenant Rodriguez called out, "Incoming transmission from the Concordat flagship." Ambassador Killorn appeared on screen, his scales now a deep crimson, a color they hadn't observed before. "Commander Chen," he began formally, "the Grand Council has reviewed Earth's response and finds it unacceptable. The Concordat offers you one final opportunity to join our alliance under modified terms. You have 12 of your hours to accept." Chen's expression remained neutral. "And if we decline, then Earth will be placed under quarantine. No ships will enter or leave your system. Trade and communication with other worlds will be prohibited. This will remain in effect until your leaders reconsider." After the transmission ended, Earth's Security Council reconvened. Opinions were divided, with some nations favoring compromise to avoid isolation, while others insisted on maintaining independence regardless of consequences. "A quarantine means they don't want to destroy us," Commander Chen pointed out. "They need something from Earth, something valuable enough to negotiate rather than simply take by force." "The question is, what?" mused the Secretary General. Dr. Singh, who had been analyzing all available data on the Concordat species, stepped forward. "I believe I know. Our mass spectrometers detected unusual atmospheric sampling during their diplomatic visits. They were particularly interested in our upper atmospheric composition." She displayed a molecular structure on the main screen. "This compound is insignificant to us, a trace atmospheric element with no known biological function in Earth organisms. But comparing it to the Concordat representatives' medical samples, she overlaid another molecular diagram that showed striking similarities. They need this element, concluded Admiral Williams. For what purpose? Based on their physiology, most likely medical, Dr. Singh hypothesized. Perhaps longevity treatments or protection from radiation. The important thing is, Earth has it, and apparently it's rare. Commander Chen smiled for the first time in days. Then we have leverage. As the deadline approached, Earth made its preparations. The Prometheus network was fully activated, research facilities were secured, and a special atmospheric processing plant in Antarctica began extracting and purifying the compound Dr. Singh had identified. When Ambassador Killorn established contact at the appointed hour, he was surprised to find not Commander Chen, but a full international delegation waiting to receive him. "Ambassador," the Secretary General began, "before we respond to your ultimatum, we wish to discuss quantum K." The reaction was immediate and unmistakable. All four of Killorn's eyes widened, and his scales paled dramatically. "I don't understand the reference," he stammered, the translation device failing to mask his shock. "I believe you do," the Secretary General continued smoothly. "Earth possesses unprecedented quantities of this element, which our scientists tell me is essential for your species' longevity treatments. We propose a trade agreement, quantum K in exchange for genuine technological and cultural exchange. No incorporation, no hidden clauses, no quarantine." Killorn's composure cracked entirely. "How could you possibly know about?" He stopped himself, realizing his mistake. Commander Chen stepped forward. "Ambassador, Earth wishes to join the galactic community, but as equals, not subjects. We understand the Concordat structure and needs better than you realized. Now shall we negotiate sincerely?" The following 12 hours saw intense diplomatic activity. The Concordat's approach shifted from dictating terms to genuine negotiation. When reports of Earth's Prometheus network reached the Council, along with analysis suggesting it could indeed disable their propulsion systems, the power dynamic shifted further. By sunrise the next day, a new agreement had been drafted. Earth would supply quantum K to the Concordat in exchange for legitimate technological assistance and cultural exchange. Earth would maintain its independence and sovereignty, with guaranteed non-interference in its internal affairs. The Council has ratified the Treaty of Terra, Ambassador Killorn announced formally during the signing ceremony. Earth is recognized as a sovereign associate of the Galactic Concordat, with all rights and privileges therein. After the ceremony, Killorn approached Commander Chen privately. "You bluffed about Prometheus," he said quietly. "Our analysis shows it could not have disabled our entire fleet." Chen smiled. "Perhaps, or perhaps we allowed you to detect exactly what we wanted you to see." Killorn's scales rippled with what the human translation system identified as reluctant amusement. The Council was right to be concerned about human potential. No species has ever challenged Concordat protocols so effectively. "Get used to it, Ambassador," Chen replied. "Humanity is just getting started." As the Concordat vessels departed Earth orbit the following day, they left behind diplomatic representatives and the framework for humanity's first extraterrestrial embassy. Commander Chen watched them go from the observation deck of Space Command, already planning Earth's next move. Admiral Williams joined her. "They'll be back with reinforcements, won't they?" "Eventually," Chen agreed. "But by then, we'll have learned from their technology, strengthened our defenses, and perhaps made allies among other species. The Concordat isn't the monolith they pretended to be." "So this isn't over," Williams observed. Chen shook her head, her gaze fixed on the stars. "No, Admiral. This is just the beginning. Humanity has announced its presence to the galaxy, not as subjects to be ruled, but as equals to be reckoned with. Outside, beyond Earth's atmosphere, the stars beckoned with new promise and new dangers. Humanity had faced its first interstellar challenge and emerged not just unscathed, but victorious. Whatever came next, they would face it standing tall on their own terms.